Good. Good morning, everybody. Let's see if somebody is already here. Okay. This looks like... Good morning, Bernardo. So obviously it works, but it doesn't work for me at the moment. So hang on. Can you actually hear and see me? No, not see me. Hear me. Does that work? Oh. I can hear you. Thank you, Bernardo. That's great. So I just need to figure out why I can't see what I'm doing here. So please bear with me. We still have a few more minutes, so don't worry about it. I think we are getting there. And yes, now that works. Good. Good morning, everybody. Yes, so we are in business. Ha! How cool is that? How is everybody on this gorgeous day? I know it's a little bit early. Good. Somebody's doing well. That's great. And obviously, there are some weird political things going on. But hey, we just simply have to deal with all these things. Right, so that works. The chats. What's popping, sir? Ha! It's the chats that are coming up that you see popping up. So that tells me that there is that people are asking questions, and I can see these questions. So that's quite good. Right. About the registration for this lecture. That's a good one. And I will tell you in a bit about the registration, how we measure actually attendance. And I might even tell you how I feel about this attendance thingy bit. But don't stress too much about the attendance at the moment, okay? Just relax, enjoy, sit back. I have some croissants here, and a cup of coffee. So this will be a very relaxed session. And if you hear funny noises, that could either be me eating my breakfast or the dogs snoring. Some people having trouble finding this stream. I mean, I sent out an email with the link. It's in the group chat. I'm not entirely sure what I can do. But if people really do have trouble, maybe somebody else can send out a link again. So good morning, everybody. Oh, lots of people coming in. Good morning. It's lovely to see you all. Well, not see you, but God, you are so polite. It's amazing. I can't believe it. It's really a pleasure of working with you guys and girls and others. Sorry, I didn't mean to be controversial. Good Lord, there is a lot going on. Good morning, everybody. So fantastic. How's your croissant? Yeah, it's warm and, well, crisp, and it's delicious. I would love to show you a picture, but I'm too scared that if I do funny things here, this stream will... oh, fire alarm is going off. Thank you, Veronique. That's great. The problem that I can't give you a fixed address for the stream is because YouTube always changes the address for live streams. So it's a little bit tricky to give you this address as a fixed address. So my apologies, but I hope, mind you, if you subscribe to my channel, you hopefully will, and click on the notification, then you will always be notified when there is a live stream going on. So good morning, everybody. We've got over 200 people watching now. This is absolutely amazing. How do you feel actually about the whole Teams thing, MS Teams and from Office? Is that easier than YouTube or? Brilliant. Both work. YouTube. Yeah, I know. Okay, great. Right, now, Teams is better. Okay, aha. I mean, do you want me to? It's a little bit tricky in terms of Teams because there's not all the things that I want to do with you guys I can do on Teams, or I haven't found out. But if people don't really have strong feelings against YouTube, are you okay with me using YouTube? Okay, whatever. So, yeah, that's good. Good. So I don't have a strong sense that people absolutely hate it. Okay, so let's get started. And A very good morning, everybody. And welcome to this first BI 308 session that we are going to do. Now, I'm going to tell you what we are going to do in this session. What I'm planning to do is I want to give you a brief overview of what I'm intending to do in this module and why it is important. And then we just have a little bit of fun with messing around. Now, people are quite concerned about attendance recording for this session. And the thing is, how shall I say that? On Moodle, there is this attendance button. So we won't take the whole hour or so. I will finish early and I will ask you then to go over to Moodle to BI 308. So let me write that down. BI 308, that's the skills for bioscientists. Skills for bioscientists. Module, and in Moodle, click the attendance button. That indicates that you have attended. Not that it means a lot, because at the end of the day, let's face it, you are paying a lot of money. And you would be stupid not to attend or not to make the most of what we offer. So, in a way, checking up on your attendance seems a little bit counterintuitive to me. But then, the university says we need to monitor attendance, and actually, the Professor Mulvihill, in his welcome speech, mentioned that there is a very strong correlation between attendance and attainment, what you get in grades. And this is absolutely right. There is a very strong correlation. However, and I hope he's not listening in on this session, however, we will discuss that correlation, and I will prove to you that yes, there is a correlation, but people are horribly abusing this correlation, mainly to frighten students. But we will talk about that later. So please register on Moodle your attendance and everything will be good. Yes, I'm a bit cheeky, but don't tell anyone, okay? Right, what are we going to do in this module and how do I want to run this module? We are going to cover a lot of ground in this module for skills. But for most of you, this will be really revision. Because you've done a lot of the stuff during your A-levels or IB or whatever qualifications you have. I give you a quick overview of these topics. The question, will we access it? Yes, absolutely. You will be able to access all the live streams afterwards. I will actually collect the links from YouTube and I will post them in a special section on Moodle so you can see them. So don't worry about these things getting lost. So what are we going to do together? Let's see if I can quickly switch the screen. Ha! Yes, brilliant, it works. So I'm not entirely sure if I should actually send you a link to this spreadsheet and the weeks, topics. I haven't put in the resources because this is really a tentative plan. And knowing me as I do, I know that I always deviate from plans. But how soon after this live stream will it be available on Moodle? Well, it is on YouTube. So it shouldn't be actually a big problem for you to access it. YouTube usually takes a few minutes to process a live stream, then we don't have to worry about it. So somebody said, yes, please. Do you want me to send you a link to this overview so that you have an idea of what we're going to do? Yeah, okay. Good. I'll see. But please, this is work in progress. Okay, it might change. So how this module works? Tomorrow we have a session where I want to discuss mole and molarity, and this is just really a revision. But I will show you a really cool trick, which is called dimensional analysis. Just a quick check. How many of you have heard and used dimensional analysis? Has anyone heard of this trick, dimensional analysis? Brilliant! Well, Eleanor, that doesn't count. You are stage 2. We know that. Because dimensional analysis is a really, really cool tool that allows you to do a lot of calculations, even if you don't know the equation to something, because you will be guided just by the units of something. So this is really cool. On Friday, we then do a revision of solutions and dilution factors, because that is something that always throws people. And it's really such an important but also very easy concept. It's not, yeah, it's an easy concept. And it's so helpful. Next week, we are doing the Beer-Lambert law, which basically is spectrophotometry, because we need to find a way how we can actually measure solutions. And with a spectrophotometer, it's quite easy to use that, but obviously you need to have a little bit of background to it. So that's why we discuss the Beer-Lambert law, which is pretty easy, but it will be with you all the time. And we will also then do a quick introduction to a practical that we are going to do in week 3 on solutions and dilutions, where we can actually practice how we measure concentrations. And we keep the solutions going until week 3. In week 3, we will do a very quick overview of some descriptive statistics. And I know that you've done that for your A-levels. We will just discuss mean, standard deviation, and standard error of the mean. I assume you've done that, yeah? So that, again, is a revision session. But we need to do that when we are talking about measurements. And I will harp on about that. This is actually something that I've decided to put in new into this module, because it's really an important concept. And I want students to get away from thinking, oh, I measure something, I get a value, I'm happy about that, and then basically sort of that's it. Not think about it any longer. We need to talk about measurements. And that's absolutely essential. And we are doing a practical in week 5 about it. And week 5, we will also do a little bit of correlation and regression. And I will show you what the background is between the correlation between attendance and attainment. And I will show you that this correlation is also, there is also a very strong correlation between the sale of ice cream and skin cancer. Interested? Well, watch that space. We will use electrophoresis as an example for that, for correlation. And then we move into special concentrations when we are talking about acids and bases, pH. You have done pH, haven't you, in A levels? Okay. Yep. And you have done strong and weak acids, I guess. Yeah. You've done that. Have you done buffers? Buffers, yes, no? You most have done buffers. Oh, that's good. A little. So in these sections, I will actually go through how we can make up buffers and why buffers are absolutely important. And for those of you who are doing the BI 300 module, we will need the concept of buffer to understand actually more about proteins. And I think that's really important because by training, I'm sort of a protein chemist. Oh, yes, I already know my head's gonna spin. Absolutely. And that's fantastic because that's what you're here for, right? You want to learn new things. You want to be enthusiastic. Don't be scared about things, right? What is the thing that you fear most? And I think I have got a good idea what you fear most. You fear knowledge. What's the thing that you fear most? Bring on the all-nighters. No, don't worry about it. Maths-related things. Physical chemistry. Life. Oh, well, that's a big one. Failure. Organic chemistry. Failure. Right, now that is, I love that. I love that comment. And we are talking about the maths in a moment, right? But failure. Do you guys have pen and paper at the moment? Yeah? Do you have that to hand? Because I want to do something with you. Great, because you need to make notes, obviously. Right, what I want you to do is, I want you to write down the word fail. And I want to write it down in this way. Right? Fail. Everybody is scared of failure. Yeah? Am I right? And I want you to change the way you think. People tell me, yes, they are scared of failure. Oh, somebody says no. That's interesting. Failure is bad, right? Failure is horrible. Failure makes you feel unworthy. You are different. Great, Hassan. I love that. Different is good. But failure, and this is exactly where it comes in. Instead of writing fail, I want you to now add first attempt in learning. You see where this comes from? And if you don't fail, how can you learn and grow? Absolutely. If you haven't failed, you've never tried anything new. Failure makes you more successful. Absolutely. And that is the growth mindset from, where was that? Her name was Helen Dweck or something like that. I'm not going to be a therapist, but I think if you think about it, this is how it works. If you don't fail, you don't learn anything. And I'll give you an example for that in a moment, where you have to fail in order to get new knowledge, right? So fail. When I say in the first lecture, I want students to fail, they usually look at me and say, oh no, I want to fail. I don't want to fail. But Lauren makes a very good point. If you at first don't succeed, don't do parachuting or skydiving. Well, and if people fail, it's not the end of the world. A great scientist once said, there is no failure, there is only feedback. And whenever you do something wrong, learn from it. Intelligent people learn from their mistakes. Stupid people make the same mistake. Very smart people think of new mistakes that they can make. So be smart. Now, with the maths, it's actually really interesting because lots of people are scared of maths. Who is scared of maths? So quite a few people are scared of maths, although we also have a few people who say actually they love maths. And if you think about it, maths is nothing else but a very concise instruction to do something, to think about concepts. Maths is nothing else but a language. And believe it or not, our brains are hardwired to solve even very complex problems. Let me give you an example for that. If you, for example, throw a ball and in a true lecture, I would have picked somebody or asked somebody to play a little game with me. If you throw a ball back and forth between a person, it's not a terribly difficult task to catch it. Actually, my dog can do that. My dog can catch a treat when I throw it at him. But the equation to calculate this path of flight is incredibly complicated. And I used to show it to students, and they said, I can't do that equation. And yes, you do it instinctively. Of course, doggos are smart. Goes without saying. Cats are, well. So, human brains are hardwired to deal with maths. And if you are scared of maths, then this is something because you have been told for a long, long time that you are dumb, yet that you can't do maths. You have developed a hypothesis where you say, well, so far, I have only had bad experience of maths, and therefore I come to the conclusion that I'm not good at maths. My teachers told me that I'm crap at maths. Well, basically, this is a bioscience course. Yeah, I just want to emphasize this. Chemistry, exactly the same. A lot of chemistry stuff is you just need to think about it, and you can do a lot of maths for chemistry, and that's really great. Now, right, I see there is an interesting discussion going on the group chat. Now, I mentioned the word hypothesis. You have an idea of things, and well, Edith, your teachers told you you are bad. I tell you, no, you're not bad at maths. You have not yet had a chance to develop that language, probably. But I hope that in this module, you will change your mind. Yeah, Wednesdays there are off fire alarm tests. Sorry if I reply to that comment. Okay, now as scientists, I said we use hypotheses, and we develop an understanding why certain things are as they are. So some people might have developed the idea, I am shite at maths. But is that true? And as scientists, what we need to do is we need to look at hypotheses and question these hypotheses. And that is actually what science does. Because do we have any native German speakers in here? I know if Eleanor is still here, she more or less. Fantastic. Here's a question for native German speakers. Use the word science translated into German, and then translate that, the German expression for science, translate it back into English. Yep, it's Naturwissenschaften. Let's forget about the Natur, the nature. Let's just simply go with the word Wissenschaft. And let's dissect that, because I really like that. It is the creation or generation, production of knowledge. And that is what scientists do. They produce knowledge. And how do we do that? Well, we make an observation, usually, and then we try to find, so here's the observation. We observe something. For example, oh look, grass. And I mean the stuff that grows on the ground, not the things that you smoke. We make an observation and we say, oh wow, grass is green. Now the big question is, why is it green? And is all grass green? I'm not commenting on that comment, right? So we make an observation, and then from this observation, we are trying to figure out a pattern and a rule. We are trying to use our sort of knowledge and thinking about patterns to establish a rule. We want to understand what's going on around us, what is happening in what we call reality, and therefore we develop these rules. And then we test these rules and say, are these rules correct? Are these rules correct? And if we can confirm something, then sort of. And if we say that, yes, our rule is correct, then we say, oh, great, we have established new knowledge. We have developed new knowledge. I'll give you, but in order to establish these rules, we need to be very careful. We need to think very carefully about how we find out these rules. We come up with some ideas and we say grass is green because of this and this and this. So I develop a hypothesis. Let's say, for example, all swans are white, right? So I try picture of a swan, like that. All swans are white. That's my hypothesis. How can I test this hypothesis? Yeah, thank you. Your swans are much nicer. And they are white. How can I test this hypothesis? By the way, did you know that in England all swans belong to the Queen? Did you know that? And if you kill a swan, you commit a crime against the crown. So how can we test this hypothesis? We can make observations. Absolutely right. We can observe swans. But in order to confirm this rule, In order to confirm this rule, we have to test every single swan, or whatever we think is a swan. We have to test all the swans. I have no idea how many swans are in the world. And in order to verify this hypothesis, it's really, really difficult to do that. Actually, if you think about it, we can never prove a hypothesis. It's not possible to prove a hypothesis. Even if we take samples, we cannot, I look at, say, 20 swans, they're all white. I can say, right, I can assume that from these 20 samples, swans are white. Reasonable doubt, that is in law. Law is not anything scientists deal with. Scientists want to make sure the rules that we assume are general, not reasonable doubt. We can assign a chance, but we want to make good rules, right? So we cannot prove a hypothesis. If you look at the swans in England, for example, you will find they are white. If you look at swans in Australia, you will find they are black. So instead of testing, I don't know, 60 million swans, whether they are white, what we can do is actually we can try to figure out if there is an exception to the rule. Are there exceptions? Is there something, is there, for example, a swan that's not white? Because if I can see just one swan that is not white, I know that my hypothesis is not true. So, any good hypothesis really cannot be verified, but it needs to be falsifiable. In order to test the rules, we need to find ways to check whether the rule is true. Sometimes we even don't know the rule, we just try to figure out the rules for that. And that is where failure comes in again. Failure is not something horrible, it is just showing that something is not right. I'll give you an example. Now, please, 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 those of you who know the answer to this, don't reveal it. Let us play a little bit. Okay? Don't bloat out, don't shout out the answer. I'll give you a number, a series of numbers. And I want you to figure out the rule behind these numbers. Those of you who know, don't immediately put it down in the group chat, right? And it is the 2, 4, 8, 16. Absolutely right. So Vernon, please don't tell people the rule. So here is the sequence: 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. What is the next number? What is the next number And what is the rule? What is your hypothesis? Okay, people say 64. Aha, okay, so people say 64, that's great. Okay, how would you react if I told you, yes, the next number could be 64? Well done. And the rule is not double the previous number. It's not the rule. What is the rule? $42. Okay, somebody said 42. The answer is it could be 42. Absolutely right. How did you get 42? What's the rule? Add 10 to 32. Oh, that's a good one. Why 10? Difference is 2, 4, 6, 8, and then 10. Wow, that is amazing. Pretty. Absolutely fantastic. Because the difference in the pattern. Fantastic. Well spotted, but it's not the rule. It's not the rule. What is x and what is the rule? No, it's not times by 2. 8 times 32. Second squared is the rule. No, it's not. 48. Oh, let's establish 48. Why 48? The difference is being doubled every time. No, it's not 64. We said that. 99. Okay, 99. Vernon? Vernon says 99. It could be 99. Could be 99. What's the rule, Vernon, for 99? It could be 33. It could be 33. Emily, it could be 1024. 100. It could be. No. 56, yes. No, there is a rule to it. Believe it, Tolu. Oh no. Fatih. 36, yes. Daria, absolutely right. The rule is the next number has to be bigger than the previous number. So 33 would be correct. 1024 would be correct because it's larger. Vernon, absolutely. I know the credits go to all those who know. So all of them apply. But you would have tried to guess for the next, 15 hours because you were trying to find the right thing. You were trying to find something that verifies your hypothesis. But I told you, you can't verify it. It would have been much easier for you had you given me a number, let's say, if somebody had said 27, I would have said, no, it can't be true. You would have immediately figured out, oh, wait a moment, why is 27 not? Let's see, 29, no? And you immediately, by coming up with a wrong answer, you would learn coming up with a wrong answer, it will change the way you think. If you try to verify something, it confirms the way you think. But you don't learn anything new from it, you just confirm something. If you come up with an answer that is wrong, you immediately change your thinking and you try to establish a new rule. And in this case, the rule is anything is wrong that is smaller than 32. Everything that is larger than 32 would be correct. That is the rule. The rule has to be the next number is larger than the previous number. Does that make sense? Falsification helps identify not just the parameters, but the rule. And I think that is something that we really, as scientists, need to think about. 32.0001, yeah, it would be right. Proof by contradiction. That's exactly what it is. And Suleika, yes, it's increasing. It can be any number as long as it's bigger than the previous number. Yeah? Do you understand this concept? You have to make a mistake in a way in order to challenge your thinking. And that is where the failure comes in. Here, giving the wrong number wouldn't be a failure. It would actually be the right approach. And that is what scientists do. How do you write it as a rule? Well, you just simply say, the rule is the next number has to be larger than the previous number. It's just a simple example here. Coming back to the swans, the rule is that all swans are white. Is that true? I only need to find one black swan, or a red or a green swan, and I know that the rule is not true. Make sense? So hypotheses need to be verifiable. And with that thinking, I think I finish. Flamingos are just pink swans. Well, somebody who knows a little bit about biology might disagree on that, but actually, do you know why they are pink? Do you know why they are pink, flamingos? It's from the diet, yeah. It's from the diet. And in some zoos, where they keep flamingos, who eat shrimps, who eat algae or something like that, in some zoos, what they do is they eat paprika or red pepper extracts to the diet, and the flamingos turn pink. It's easy. Anyway, I digress. I would like to stop here. I think I've given you some food for thought. And what I suggest is that you head over to Moodle and click on the attendance button. And I shall see you then tomorrow in our first real session on moles and molarities. By the way, I do not expect people to go through all the stuff in advance of a lecture. I don't think you need to do everything in advance. What I want you to do is really sit down, enjoy the lecture, think about it, and then look at some exercises. If there are things not clear, read up on it. Look at the resources that I put up on Moodle and just enjoy, right? Don't get too stressed. In that sense, have a lovely day. Thank you very much for your participation. I really enjoyed it, and I shall see you tomorrow. And I will put that spreadsheet up on Moodle, okay? Have a lovely day. See you tomorrow. Cheerio. Bye-bye.